Real Talk with your Auntie K. Today we're talking about consequences and plans. When I talk about consequences, I'm talking about the results of your actions. Every action you take or inaction has a result. If I decide when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to take my dog outside, my dog is going to pee in the house. That is what Benji is going to do. I know this. So my action is to take the dog outside because I don't want the consequence of not taking him outside. I work a job, a 9 to 5, every day. I know I'm responsible for getting certain work done and being there within a certain amount of hours. If I'm not there, if I'm not doing the work I'm supposed to do, chances are I will lose that job. Not taking the right actions will result in a certain set of consequences. The only people who don't understand this are toddlers. Toddlers don't understand that there is a consequence for their actions. They're still learning that. By the time you're an adult, you should know it. I was watching some talk show and the man was talking about cheating. Well, I'm a man, I'm gonna cheat. Well, no, you're a toddler if you can't control your behavior. If you know you're in a relationship with this woman and she expects you to be faithful, and you think every time your dick swings that you gotta put it in some random woman, you're acting like a toddler. Be an adult. Always think about the consequence of your actions. I worked for a nonprofit helping women find jobs, women and men find jobs. And I was doing a mock interview with this woman. And she came in and she was so proud. And she explained to me that she had gotten in a fight with a woman at her job. She was on the clean crew at a hotel. She had gotten in a fight with a woman who had just worked her last nerves, and the manager broke it up. And she explained this to me, and she was so proud and so full of herself. And so I said, well, I have 3 questions to ask you. And she said, sure. I said, the woman that you beat up, where's she working now? And she said, oh, she's still at the job. I said, okay. I said, what about the manager? Where's he working now? And she said, oh, he's still at the job. And my 3rd question was, where are you right now? You're at the job readiness program looking for a job. I said, here's a bonus 4th question, if you don't mind. You seem pretty proud of what you did. She was like, well, I was pretty proud of it. I needed to say what I needed to say. And, she deserved what happened to her. I said, okay, I get that. You're proud of it. Do they take that pride at Duke Energy when you need to pay your bill? What about Spectrum? What about T-Mobile? See, because your actions resulted in consequences that are affecting your bottom line. Because you're looking for a job right now and you can't pay any bills. Do you get what I'm saying? Your actions have consequences. So the adult thing to do is to think about what those consequences are and then make a decision about whether to take that action or not. You had a great time drinking. Now, should you get behind the wheel of a car? Maybe you'll make it home. It's totally possible. But maybe you won't. And then who will be to blame for the accident you caused or the life you took? You will. So always think about the consequences for your actions. Now, if you're truly thinking about those consequences, then maybe you decide not to take that action. It's not worth it. But that, my friends, is the adult thing to do. To look at the consequences of your action before taking that action and making the appropriate choice based on what you think might happen as a result. Okay, so those are consequences, and keeping those consequences in mind when you get to the second step. And the second step I want to talk about is having a plan. When you have a plan, normally you have a plan because you have a goal. And your plan is designed to help you reach that goal. So you want to be a nurse. You had to apply to school. You had to get into school. Now you have to take the classes that you need and pass them to get your grade. Maybe that took a certain amount of financial aid. Maybe it takes a certain amount of studying. It takes all of those things. Now, the Jews have a phrase, a saying, and it goes like this. Man makes plans, God laughs. And that's because between our plans and the fruition, the success of those plans, there's something called life. And yes, boys and girls, it is a 4-letter word. And life can happen. Life can happen in a way that makes you lose your scholarship. So you got to find another way to get through school. It might be a loved one is taken from you. I lost my mom when I was 15. It sucked all the way around. All these years later, it still sucks. But that changed the course of some of the plans I have. Here's the thing. Life happening can change your plans. Your plans have to have a certain flexibility within them. But it shouldn't stop you from reaching your goal. It means your plans have to have an elasticity within them so that they can change. You didn't get the financial aid you wanted. So how are you going to get the money to get your degree? What are you going to do differently? You expected to start your business with this partner, but your partner fell through. So now what are you going to do? Your plans shouldn't stop because they have to change. Your goal should remain the same unless through a lot of soul searching and digging you decide to change that goal. That's possible too. But as long as you have it, you need to work toward it. And if you're working toward it and something needs to change, then change it. But still work toward it. There's too many people, and I'll end on this, saying who live a life that doesn't have plans, that just kind of goes with the flow. Okay? When you're going back and forth with the flow, that's where you're going to go back and forth. You're not going to go ahead. If you want to get ahead, you need to have a plan. That plan needs to have flexibility. And you really need to think if the actions you're taking right now are going to get you where it is you want to go. If not, then take different actions. Do something differently. At the end of the day, it is 100% up to you. So you want to get to where you want to go, you got to do what you got to do.